Is Janet from another planet? 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 Is Janet from
The opinions you're about to hear on this show are strictly those of the panel.
The following program is rated TV MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Well, hello. Welcome to Team Shit Show 2.0, but I never heard from my guest again today, so it's like, oh well, I guess I'm gonna do it myself. We were going to talk about the debt and the debt ceiling and all the different things I do about crypto and all the things they've been talking about and the debt clock. But since my guest didn't join me, I decided I'm going to talk about all the swatting and the doxing that's been coming out. In the last week, basically. So, hey, hello. Thank you for joining me. And I will definitely see if I can share as much as I can with the things that I've been able to find out so far. It's pitiful. It's really sad that any of us that might have voted for Trump or just wanted a different change because we liked Robert Kennedy Jr., or if we like Tulsi Gabbard, or if we like Pete Hegseth, any of these people, you're considered an enemy to these people. And they're calling and having pizzas delivered to people's property. They're having all kinds of weird shit like that on top of like people coming to their homes and thinking that they've got a hostage situation or tons of different stuff. So I'm going to start with this very first thing here. I'm gonna make it bigger. And I hope you guys can hear this and make sure it's turned up. But yeah, this is really bad. This is becoming life-threatening. I mean, someone's gonna get hurt. I just know it.
Let's talk about the swatting, which has now become a very useful tool, I guess, for domestic and international terrorists. It's, if you think about it, it's a brilliant strategy. You take no risk. You don't put yourself in danger. You send the agents of the state to attempt to kill your political enemies. And, if the political enemies are like listening to headphones at the time and don't hear the orders, they might get shot in the head. And all it takes is a simple phone call. So you can't actually, you can put tracking devices on 911, and that works to some degree. But it's very easy to mask your phone number. Very easy to mask your email address if you're just emailing in a report, like what happened with Chase, where they were texting and not calling. This is one of those vulnerabilities that we have as a nation. It's like we open ourselves up to a boy who cried wolf scenario, where we live in a country that's so great. It's so amazing living in this country, where at any moment, any person, citizen or not, can type 3 numbers into any phone, even cell phones that are not connected. It'll still get you through. Any phone, you can type 911, and you can instantly have all of the resources of our police, our fire, and our medical industry dispatched as quickly as possible to wherever you are to get you whatever the help you need. It truly is an amazing thing that we have this. We take it for granted, but imagine not having this. What would you do? We'd have to devolve into like clan structures, because you have to be able to protect yourself. You have to be able to fight criminals. So you either have to do it yourself, or you have this amazing system where with a simple free 2-minute phone call, you can have literally millions of dollars of equipment rushed out to you, and the most highly trained, incredible people, they're ready to sacrifice their lives to save you. It's a really amazing thing what we have going on here in this country.
Well, it is an amazing thing if we're using it to save lives. But when you're using our police forces and our SWAT teams, our firemen, our paramedics, and all those other things that we have set up for cities and towns to protect people and to save lives, now we're using it to try to kill people or hurt and maim people. I just never thought I would see anything like this in my lifetime. I did tell everyone, though, that it was going to be 4 years of bullshit. I knew that because Trump and his team are going to try to follow the letter of the law and follow the Constitution. And as we've been proven, I've been hearing a lot of people talking about this in spaces and on other apps, on TikTok and Instagram and on Rumble, about how they want to see people arrested because of this USAID stuff. Well, the sad fact is it's going to be very hard to arrest anyone for that because the money was allotted by Congress. Okay. It was voted on by Congress and passed. So this much money, $2 billion or whatever, to go to these special needs things that these people had put in. So whose fault is that? Is that the taxpayers' fault? No, that's Congress's fault, because Congress didn't take the time to read that they were going to spend $2 million on a transgender comic book in Africa. Stuff like that. Just ridiculous, frivolous crap to spend your money. And the reason they're pissed is because the wallet is closing. Okay. It's like taking a piggy bank away from the kid that's been putting money in, and they keep taking money out and going buying candy with it. And you're saying, don't buy candy anymore, but they still keep doing it. So they're mad. They're mad because we, the people, voted in someone that's doing what we asked them to do, and to find out where the wasteful spending was going to. I mean, just think about it. We're finding out that we have people on the Social Security checklist that are getting checks that are 200 years old. Somebody's cashing those checks. Now, the thing is, the people that are cashing those checks can be arrested, okay, because they're frauding the government. And they're frauding us, the taxpayers, the ones who put the money in there. I mean, we want our veterans and our elderly and whoever else is on Social Security to get that money to help them pay for their medicines and whatever other means that they want to spend the money on, because it's theirs. They earned it. They worked hard. They put into the system for a very long time to receive that money. But to find out that millions and trillions, basically billions of dollars, are being wasted, checks being cashed by people who didn't earn the money, and they're doing it in a fraudulent manner, those people should be arrested. And I hope that we're going to start seeing some arrests because of that, because they know about the fraud. They're looking into the fraud, because if they know someone who's 210 years old is receiving a check and they're being cashed, that means they've been cashing them since the person was legal age to get Social Security, and they did pass away in real life. And then after that, someone just kept getting the checks and cashing them, even though they were dead. I mean, we've seen videos online going by from people that I've seen a few videos where you'd have a woman with a man in a wheelchair that was dead, pushing him in and trying to cash his check at the bank, things like that. It's disgusting how low people have become to be able to steal other people's money and other people's properties. We have people squatting in properties. So you're having to fight for a property that you own and fight our system to get back your property, because someone else who just wanted to sit there and move in just moved in, and you don't have any rights. We have got to take back our country. We, the taxpayers, are the ones paying the bills, and we're the ones that should have the rights, not the people who just come here and squat, who haven't put a dime in. They shouldn't be getting Social Security checks. So all of it is, it's going to take time. It's going to take time, because it's a freaking huge, disgusting web of shit, basically, that this administration has taken over. And they've been in, 50-something days now? So we have to be patient and let them do the job. And I know it's heartbreaking, but if you know of anyone who's talking about doing something illegal by calling the cops and saying that someone's being held hostage in a house or some of these things, you need to make sure you tell someone. Tell someone. Don't let them risk someone's life, because it could be your house next. Think about that. You think it's funny and you're laughing about it now, certain people, but it could be you. It could be your mother or your father that's home alone, and they don't hear her beating at the door because they have hearing aids or whatever it is, and they kick the door in, and then they have a remote in their hand, and they think it might be a gun, and they get shot. Someone's going to be hurt because of this, okay? Because of the horrible rhetoric that we're listening to about people that voted for Trump are Nazis. They hate blacks, they hate Hispanics, or they hate Asians, or any of these things. It's all lies. Okay, actions speak louder than words. If a person treats you a certain way, that's usually the kind of person they are. Words don't mean anything. What if the person couldn't speak? So if a person's saying, I love you, and they're punching you in the face, does that mean they love you? No, it means they hate your ass and they want to beat the shit out of you. That's what it means. That's common sense. And we seem to be lacking common sense big time. But I just wanted to show this InfoWars segment because of what he had to say. But what I'm wanting to show you now is this other article that I thought was pretty interesting. All of this is about this type of doxing that's going on. But this is the type of person that thinks it's okay to burn cars, burn homes, beat people up in the street, break into your house, throw rocks at your house, harass your children at school and on their way to school or on their way home from school or at soccer tournaments or any of this, or at the grocery store or while you're getting gas, simply because you have a bumper sticker on your car that says that you're conservative, or that maybe it's going to be Christians. Okay, so we got to stop. We got to stop it. But I'm going to share this with you. It says Maxine Waters just doubled down on her violent rhetoric. Even after the death threats against Trump, Elon Musk's attacks on the Tesla showrooms, and multiple swatting incidents on conservatives. Radical leftists are encouraging this violence. They know exactly what they're doing, and they do. They really do. All you have to do is watch some of the times that they've thrown each other under the bus, because they will. They throw each other under the bus all the time. And as long as it's not them, they don't give a shit, because that paycheck is sure is sweet, especially since it's coming from your wallet.
What does Trump expect? Oh, I believe he expects violence. I believe he expects confrontation. I believe he's working toward a civil war. What does Trump expect?
He's working toward a civil war. So when you tell people that type of stuff, what are they supposed to think? You know what I mean? What are the people supposed to think that follow these people? They think it's time to go to war. And if they're getting a check from Soros or whoever else the checks are coming from, a lot of them are going to do it because they're afraid you're going to take their Social Security away, even though they're wasting it. Somebody is cashing checks, and this administration is trying to get the money and fix it, put it back, to give it the money back into the system to pay the debt. That we are so far in debt that our great grandkids are going to be born in debt before they've even old enough to even have a job. They're already going to be in debt. So I don't know. This whole thing is just so scary to me. I never thought we'd ever be in this type of situation. But here's another one. This is Nick Sorter. It's a friend of mine on X. A person that I've followed for a long time. It says, so if my dad would have been killed last night after these pieces of S swatted him, it wouldn't be my fault, simply because they don't like what I post. Okay. So they're allowed, the left is allowed to say whatever they want. They can call me a Nazi, I'm a racist, I'm a homophobe, or whatever they want to call me. They're allowed to do that. But if I call them a liar because I'm not a racist and I'm not a Nazi, then I deserve to die or have my house burnt down or be beat up in the street. See, where's the balance in that? Everything they say that we are, they're proving me right by doing this stuff. Antifa people, they're supposed to be anti-fascist, but every single thing they do is fascist. Look up fascism in the dictionary and you'll find out. But this is terrible. See, this guy right here says, so if your dad had died because of you, you wouldn't have taken any responsibility. You're asking for illegals to have their doors kicked in when their friendly fire also happens to Americans who look like you. You're not a victim. You are the reason. Stop playing the victim. Bullshit like this person. And this person, I hate to say it, probably doesn't own a thing, doesn't pay any taxes, and probably mooches off people, his family, friends, and whoever else. And that person is easily controlled by the left. Okay, because they're told that me, terrible Janet, wants him not to have any money. Okay, I just think that if I have to get up and go to work to earn a paycheck to pay my bills and pay my taxes and to take care of my vehicle, my home, pay my own way, then why shouldn't other people? You know, I mean, what happens when there aren't any people left to pay taxes? Where's the money going to come from? Where are we going to live? You know, what is a free for all where you just go beat the shit out of people and take their house and then it's yours? Is that how we're going to start living? I don't know what we're going to do, but I'm telling you, this is scary that people think treating people this way is okay. I just don't understand. It's really, really, really sad, this whole thing. But I don't know what we're going to do. I really don't. It's a scary, scary situation. But we have to stop it. We have to be the ones to stand up and say, no more. We're not letting these people treat people this way. And here's another incident of another hoax, okay, swatting incident or whatever you want to call it. So it says Children's Hospital in San Bernardino, California was swatted on Wednesday night and forced to evacuate. At least 200 officers surrounded California's Loma Linda University Children's Hospital after a hoax report of a possible gunman. I mean, even children aren't safe. Nobody's safe. Nobody is safe in this country if this kind of crap is allowed to go on. What punishment do you think these people deserve that called in this incident? They should have to pay for all the police officers that showed up. But how do you make these people pay for a child or someone that's hurt because of it? I mean, see, it's too late then. It's too late when someone dies because of a hoax. It's just sad that we've allowed this kind of crap to happen. I hope they start arresting these people.
Hundreds of police have responded to a hoax gunman report in California. Authorities swarmed a children's hospital in San Bernardino after reports of a gunman in the building. At least 200 officers surrounded the building and evacuated those inside. It was later revealed the reports were unfounded. Students on campus were sent a text message saying, "This is not a drill. Initiate immediate protective actions. If confronted with a threat, run, hide, fight."
But did you see all those police officers? Look at that. Look at all the police officers that showed up to save children at a hospital. All of these people were doing their jobs. And guess what? While all these people were here doing this, when there was nothing, other people weren't getting their homes helped from real burglars or real rapists. Okay? And all of these people showed up for something that wasn't there because of a hoax. This is something you did when you were in 8th grade, 7th grade. This is pathetic. It's just really pathetic that these people think that this kind of shit is funny or whatever they think they're getting out of it, to harass people for whatever reason. It's just sad. It shouldn't happen to hospitals. It shouldn't happen to an elderly woman. It shouldn't happen to anyone on college campuses. It shouldn't happen to anybody that's doing anything. It should never be used to hurt people. This isn't what our 911 system was set up for. We're supposed to help people. And your tax dollars are paying for these people to do this to other people. It's just heartbreaking to me. This is really a sad state of affairs where our country is right now because of this. And I just hope more people like all of you out there are ready to make a phone call and say, I just talked to someone and they're there as a group of people and they're about to make some false phone calls or whatever. If you know of anyone, just please try to talk them out of doing it. Try to explain to them that how much you're going to hurt other people by doing it. Try to reach the goodness inside of them or something. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you, but this is just pathetic. I mean, it's really pathetic that a group of people would talk to other people and say, "Hey, let's call the cops and make them think that someone's got a baby being held hostage, and the mother at gunpoint." So that a whole SWAT team will go and kick in the doors of a house because they think it's a dire situation, and then they get in there and realize it was a hoax. It was a hoax. It was all made up just to scare people, to scare you to shut your mouth. It's just like jury intimidation. You know, you're going to be on a jury and they constantly call your house and say that they're going to kill you in your sleep. They're going to slit your throat or whatever. They're going to do horrible stuff to you if you testify against someone, or you find your dead animal in your front yard. You know, it's to scare you so that you won't do the right thing. This is so sad. It's very sad. As a Air Force brat, I never thought my country would ever have this kind of stuff going on. Not with the grown-ups. You know, it's pathetic. But here's another one. Because I don't know if anybody heard about Sean White. I think that's what his name was. He was shot down. Now, I don't know if it was because he was swatted or if he was really just robbed, because I don't really know enough about it. So I haven't brought that article up because I haven't found out enough about it. But, you know, all of this other stuff's happening. And there's many, many more that people aren't reporting on of people that have been attacked or swatted 2 or 3 times in a row. So this is another one, Chase Geyser. I've known Chase for a little while, and he says he was swatted for a second time in 12 hours. And here's the video. So here we go. I'm going to click on it right here. Whoops. Sorry.
Chase, are you inside? You acknowledge. Or Chase, can you step out with your hands up? Travis County Sheriff's Office, step out of your house now with your hands up. Come out of the house with your hands up. Do it now. Do it slow. Okay, come outside. Step out. Step out of the office. Step out. Come outside. Come on, come towards us. Don't walk towards him. Have him come out. Come on. Come towards us. Walking. Keep walking. Keep walking. Come towards us.
And this is in Texas.
Keep walking. Keep walking. Stop. Turn around. Stop. Walk backwards. Keep walking. I got you. Keep walking. Keep walking.
This is him walking backward. The sad fact is that I've also heard other people saying, well, now they think people that are big influencers, if you have a big channel and you've worked hard to build your channels up on Rumble or YouTube or X or Instagram, that now you're going to be calling in the cops to come do this to your family or yourself for clicks. That's what I'm hearing now. And I'm sure there's a bunch of lefties that are spreading that lie, because I think it's ridiculous, especially if you're already a big channel. I don't think you'd risk being shot or having your family shot or someone you care about being shot or beat up, hit over the head or tripping and falling or whatever for a few clicks. I think that's a pathetic thing to say about anyone, but I have heard people say that. So I just wanted to state that fact. It's pretty sad. But here's another thing that I wanted to bring up about all this stuff about doxing people. When you put people's information, private information online for other people to see, you're risking their life, because now people know where they live, where their kids go to school, and it's not that hard to get any other information once they find out where they live. And it's going to come back and haunt you one day when it happens to you, and it will happen to you sooner or later. Especially if you're that low, if you're that low of a person that you feel like you have to dox people, or call and get somebody swatted to get your jollies or whatever. What are you doing? Watching these videos and jacking off or what? I mean, I'd really like to know. I wish I could get somebody that put in the chat or send me a Friday night shit show chat. I'm gonna put that in here real quick in the chat. So if you want to send any stupid ass videos of yourself jacking off or whatever, watching this crap after you've made a 911 call because you think that makes you a man or a woman, because I'm sure women do it too. Send me an email. I'll play it on my channel for you, make you famous if that's what you think, that doing this shit is gonna help in some way. And I'd also like to interview and ask you why you think that this is helping. What do you think this is going to accomplish besides get people arrested or hurt or even killed? I mean, I'd really like to have an answer for that. If you guys got balls enough to, come out publicly instead of behind a keyboard, hiding with a mask over your face. Oh, you probably already wear a mask everywhere you go anyway. So what pathetic wimps. That's what I see. But here, I'm going to bring up another one. Here's another article right here. This is something else I read. It says the InfoWars reporter who was murdered on a Ukraine enemies list. And there's plenty of people on here. Anyone who speaks out or about what they believe, like I hear a lot of people saying, well, I don't want Trump to take my Social Security. Well, guess what? He doesn't want to take your Social Security either, unless it isn't your Social Security. If it's your great grandpa's Social Security check that you're cashing, it's not yours. Okay. It is your great grandpa's. And if it's your grandfather's or your dad's or your brother's or someone else's, it's not yours. If you are married to somebody that served many years in the military, or he was a police officer or a paramedic, and you have a pension, and they pass away, you're entitled to your spouse's Social Security check, as far as I know, and you'll have to say no to yours, especially if yours was less a month. You won't get your check anymore. You will receive your spouse's. That's legal. Okay, so I don't see this administration trying to take away your legal right to collect money that somebody worked hard to earn. Okay, that's not what this is. And if that's what you believe, if you believe that someone's trying to take the legal right that you have of having Social Security, I'd like to hear your story. I'd like you to send me an email, because I'd like to see how they're trying to take it. And I would make it public. I will help you get the word out, because they shouldn't be able to take your legal right to collect your Social Security check. And if something like that's happened to you, I would really like to help you, because that's wrong. But if you're earning a check or cashing a check from someone else that it's not you, that you don't have the Social Security number to prove it's your check, well, then you shouldn't get that check. And if that makes me the enemy because I said that because it's a fact, then you shouldn't, you shouldn't have the right to hurt me, because I have a right to say that. I do have a right to say that. And I don't break the law. But if you're going to be one of those people, then tell me about it. I'd like to hear. But it's pathetic and sad that we are in this situation, that I'm even having to talk about such a stupid topic in this day and age of our country. It's pathetic. But here's another one from Gunther that he posted after what happened to him. He wasn't even home. Okay. They went to his house when his wife was there by herself. Okay. So you guys targeted Gunther, but you didn't even get him. You got his wife, someone who doesn't even do his job or do what he does. She just goes and does her own thing because she's married to him. But I hope you're happy. Hope you guys are just getting all your jollies off, because this is pathetic and disgusting that this is how you guys choose to deal with things, instead of coming out, talking about it, or starting your own talk show or whatever it is that you could do. But instead, you're a coward. You're behind a keyboard and on a phone and call 911 and try to hurt people. I hope you're happy and hope you have a terrible, terrible life after this, because I hope that you get arrested. I really do. I hope you get arrested. And this is Gunther saying, we have one hell of a SWAT unit out here. Thankful for their commitment to ensuring safety and glad they quickly understood what happened. To whoever did this, you fucked around. Now it's time to find out. And then he posted some pictures showing these fine officers that went to do the job to protect the people that they're paid to protect in the state of Texas. Okay, this is them. They took time out of their schedule and their job to go and protect people. That's what they were doing. They were just doing their job. But you guys, whoever it was that made this call, trying to get these people to do your dirty work for you because you're a coward. You guys are cowards. To use 911 and hardworking people like these SWAT member police officers to do something disgusting and skanky for you because you had the balls, I guess you could say, to make a phone call. Wow, what a man or what a woman you are. Disgusting. You guys are repulsive. But yeah, it's got some really good stuff here about this article. So I'm going to copy the link for this one. And I want you two guys to go check it out if you're on X, because it's important that you know what's going on, and that you try to speak out against it, because good people don't do stuff like this. People who actually care about other people. You go out and you whine and complain about people not doing enough in their communities, and then that you can't get a cop to come when you call, and then you got all these cops going out and doing this stuff. And then you saw earlier article that I did where you have 50 cops show up to save a bunch of kids in a hospital, a cancer hospital, and they show up for nothing because there's nothing going on, and they have to move all those children out and everything and trying to save kids, and a waste of thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for a gag, for a joke, because you think it's funny, or for whatever reason you have, because you're too much of a coward to post it somewhere or make a video and post it, or even start a talk show or whatever it is and tell people how you feel about it, about why you want to call and have cops raid people's houses or raid the hospital where kids are having therapy and stuff done for them. It's pathetic and disgusting. Yeah, you guys are gross. But let me share some of these things. Says, so is the we live Janet from another planet, or what are we today? Oh, the masked bandit. You know my favorite raccoon, the masked bandit. Oh, cracks me up. Maybe you got a raccoon, but you get the purple masked bandit thing going. That's pretty cool. Okay, I guess. But don't believe, got a yes out of Janet, but that's really you saying yes from another planet, Janet. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just me, and I can't read all the chat and present things on here. So if you've never done a live stream like that, then I guess you don't understand. But this is another. So yeah, it's not like a space, Gary. This is a live podcast. Basically, it's on Rumble, and I'm on X and YouTube at the same time. So basically, the only way that I can talk to you is by reading what you post and sharing it with other people that are watching the show on the different channels, so they can read what you're writing. So, but here's that. I posted Gunther's post off of X. If you click that link, you can go and read all the comments from other people that are posting underneath his post that he posted with his police officers and stuff. So it's it's important that we share as much as we can, and anything else that you can find about people being doxxed or swatted in any state. It doesn't matter what state it is. It's still wrong, people. It's not a good thing to do. Okay, so please, if you know someone is going to do it, try to talk them out of it, or report them, because somebody needs to pay. Someone needs to go to jail and have to work off the money that's we're spending to send all these cops out to all these places. And now I hear that they're ordering pizzas and saying it's coming from this person or whatever. So I don't know. I don't understand it. To me, it just sounds like a bunch of dumb little kids playing pranks. And what's really sad is that I'm sure they're all adults. He says, it takes a special breed of people to do this, but my hat's off. I ordered the blue military. It's a tough job, but we're there too. Serve and protect America. God bless you all. Yes, 100%. See, and that's another thing. It's sad. We're not the people, whoever's doing this, either I think they do know what they're doing. So the sad fact is, if a police officer shows up at a house and the person inside, and it's late at night, let's say it's 3:00 in the morning, they're in bed and they have a gun in their nightstand or on their nightstand, and all they hear is noise. They don't know what's going on. They hear loud noises or whatever. What happens when they pull their gun and try to protect their family, not knowing whether it's cops, and they shoot somebody? And that's what you want, isn't it? These people that are doing this, they want chaos. They want people to hurt people. That's what they want. When they say they don't want to hurt anyone, they want, freedom and fairness, and they don't want you to take their checks, and they think that, we should be more supportive of whatever it is that they're doing, yet they do this kind of stuff to try to prove their point. Well, this doesn't help your cause at all when you do childless things like this. This is very immature, and you're going to hurt someone. So I hope you guys listen to other people and just stop doing it. Don't let some highfalutin Democrat that's behind a wall in a fancy mansion get you to leave your house and go do something dumb like this and get arrested. Do you think that they're going to bring you to their house and let you stay with them while you're trying to work off your fines or whatever else? No, they're not. They could care less about you. It's like I said earlier, actions speak louder than words. And when you let people talk you into doing this dumb stuff, and you don't realize that they're just using you, they're using you to do what they want to do, but they won't do it. They're not going to do it because they don't want to risk their whatever amount of money, $300,000 a year paycheck that they're getting, and plus the extra money that they make from the lobbyists and things like that. That's why they have the fancy houses, and why when they first start, they're not making a lot of money, and when they leave, they're all millionaires. Why do you think that is? Interesting. But you're doing the job for them, and listening to their rhetoric doesn't look good on you. So I'm going to stop this one. And let's go to the next one. Okay, let's see. Present share screen. Let's see. I think it's this one. Okay, yeah, this is another one. Hold on. I'm going to push pause. It says, breaking. Police release new details on the tragic murder of InfoWars reporter Jamie White. I thought I said Sean White earlier, and I'm really sorry. His name was Jamie. But this is the one I said I didn't know whether or not why he was murdered, whether they were trying to steal his car or whatever. But maybe they have some more information. Here we go.
Once again, my name is Jason Jones. I am the lead investigator into the murder investigation of Jamie White. On Sunday, March 9th, 2025 at approximately 11:56 p.m., the Austin Police Department responded to a call of a shooting at the Chandelier Apartments located at 2336 Douglas Street. When officers arrived on the scene, they located one victim. He was later identified as Jamie White, lying on the ground in the parking lot with apparent trauma to his body. White was transported to a local hospital where he was pronounced deceased at 12:19 a.m. on March 10th, 2025. Homicide detectives and crime scene specialists responded to process the crime scene and interview witnesses. The initial investigation shows that White was shot and killed in the parking lot of the apartment complex in which he lived. The suspects then fled the scene. During the crime scene investigation, evidence indicated White interrupted an individual or group of individuals as they broke into his vehicle. That evidence includes the fact that one of White's windows was broken out and that the suspects appeared to have been cut in some way, as blood was found inside Mr. White's vehicle. A suspect vehicle has been identified. That vehicle was reported stolen a few days prior to the murder and has since been recovered by the Austin Police Department. Today, we're asking for anyone with information about Mr. White's murder to call the police department or submit that information anonymously through the Capital Area Crime Stoppers program. Additionally, we want to warn the community to be cautious if they discover someone breaking into their vehicles. The individuals responsible for Mr. White's murder are known to be armed and have no regard for human life. If you discover someone breaking into your vehicle, please call 911 immediately and provide the call taker with a good description of the suspects and their vehicle, including a license if possible, and give the direction of travel if possible. If you have been the victim of a vehicle burglary, particularly if in the area of Douglas Street and Old Torf Street, or if your vehicle is a Kia, in particular a Kia, and you have not already reported this offense to the Austin Police Department, please do so as soon as possible. It's very important that we get all this data. The Austin Police Department Homicide Unit and the Austin Police Department Tactical Intelligence Unit continues to work this investigation, and we are following all leads as they develop. Again, anyone with information should contact the Austin Police Department at 512-974-TIPS, TIPS. You may also submit your tip anonymously through the Capital Area Crime Stoppers program by visiting austincrimestoppers.org or calling 512-472-8477. A reward of up to $1,000 may be available for anyone providing information that leads to an arrest.
Infowarsstore.com.
Well, yeah, that was pretty sad. That whole thing is just a mess. But I don't know. I really don't know what else to say about it. It's just pathetic and sad that people will stoop this low for a few laughs, to watch people come out in their yard and get down on their knees. I mean, I just don't understand. I don't understand it. But this is Gunther Eagleman's page, and he said that his family is fine and that they're all right, thank goodness. But the thing is that I don't know. I'm just beside myself over this. I cannot believe that we have people in our country that will risk other people's lives simply because they don't like what they have to say. If you want to live in a country where the government controls everything you say and you can't say anything that the government doesn't approve of, then move to China. Honestly, I mean it. Move to China if you want to find out what it's like, or go to Saudi Arabia or Iraq, a place where you don't have those rights, especially if you're a woman, okay? Because you're really down low on the totem pole. If you think that you're going to have any rights, you're not. So I just think that you guys should really think about what you're doing and why you're letting these people control your choices, why you're letting them talk you into making stupid decisions like this at swatting people or doxing someone. I don't know. I just don't understand it. Okay, well, here is another one. Let me see. I think it's this one. Oh, I don't know if that's it or not. Maybe it's this one. Let me click on it and see. Oh, yeah. Okay, let me go up on this. No, this isn't the one. Darn it. Sorry. I opened the wrong one. Okay, here it is. It's the other one. All right. Just give me a second. I'm sorry. I clicked on the wrong one. I think it's this one. Yeah, here we go. All right. Right here. This one. It's the one I want to share. Hold on.
Vivian Kubrick, daughter of Stanley Kubrick, his protege, filmmaker her own right, wanted to make a documentary, but she wanted to be here for like a year. I love her to death. She's a fellow Texan, lives here. And at a certain point, I said, listen, we don't want anybody here that much. You're welcome to come anytime you want, but it gets distracting cameras every day. And I wasn't mean to her. It's a war room around here. And I wish I'd have just let her make the film, because she's the only person that got an interview with Jamie White.
That's the thing that really upsets me about these people is their war on language. They're trying to control, because if you can control the language, you can control how people think.
Yeah.
And so that's why the other side is always coming up with these terms, that they invent. And give it its own meaning and try to say that your words and the meaning that you assign to words are bigoted or racist or just not correct. Yeah, the Trust and Safety Commission. Yeah.
It's mad.
Right. But he's allowing all this child porn on Twitter and writing dissertations about, children should be able to make those decisions. What the hell?
I know. They literally are walking inversions of human beings.
But that's how they're so successful, in part because that kind of gaslighting is just so, a normal person just who is apolitical or doesn't follow this stuff, they're just so assaulted with the inverted version of what they're saying that they just come believe it, because surely they wouldn't lie to such a degree that it's the polar opposite. Most people don't think that way, so.
Yeah, well, it's interesting you should say that, because I think their primary purpose is to so jostle people's reality that they just sort of go into a permanent
mental rape. That's what they're all about.
Well, but it's they can't decide.
Yeah.
And then in this sort of great struggle to make sense of what's going on, they just give up.
No, it's
that's
true.
What they want.
They flood the zone with all kinds of preposterous stuff.
Yeah.
And then they leave the average American totally bamboozled, not really sure what to believe.
Yeah.
And that's when the mainstream media comes to package up the narrative in a nice little box in an easily digestible way that the viewers can just understand it and they're because the world's not black and white, there's always shades of gray, there's always nuances, and that the media doesn't like nuances. They like to make things as simple as possible to let the masses wrap their minds around it.
Jamie.
Yeah, that was sad. That young man had a potential of who knows what kind of future, was taken away all because somebody's trying to rob him or whatever it was, because to whoever did it, life doesn't matter. Okay. We've raised a whole generation of people who don't care about life at all. They could care less. They really don't care about their own self either, apparently, because when you do things like that, you risk the chance of being shot by a police officer or somebody trying to protect their property. So it's really sad at the state that we are now in this country. But here is another person. Now I have listened to this gentleman many times in spaces, listened to him speak, because he does the impersonation of Trump, and his voice of doing Trump is really, really, really good. But he posted this video because him and his wife were swatted. He wanted to tell people.
Hey guys, it's Sean, my wife Brennan, and just wanted to give you guys an update. We did just get swatted here in Tennessee. The officer said they received a phone call that somebody murdered somebody in the house and was planning a suicide by cop. So I received the call with that information. We cooperated with police. They were very nice.
They were actually very nice.
Very, very nice. They were not aware that this was going on across the country. But was that, how did you feel about that? What was going through your head when you saw officers in the backyard with guns?
I was shaking. I
Yeah.
was terrified. I was the only one awake. He was asleep.
Yeah.
And they were just pointing their guns into the house, and I was very scared. I was very scared.
And that's the point, and that's what these people are trying to do. They are trying to silence folks who are not afraid to speak their mind online. And you've seen it happen to so many other people across the country. We're going to do what we can from Tennessee to try and get to the bottom of who's responsible for it. I'd like to see the Justice Department or somebody somewhere get involved with getting to the bottom of it, because you can see it's not a joke. You're coming up to people's homes with very, very big guns that are very unsettling to a lot of people. And, one wrong move could create a disaster. And
Sean handled it very well. He was very calm and collected.
Yeah, because we're seeing it happening all across the country. Yeah. We have nothing to hide. None of this stuff happened. But the bottom line is that if the result was that the person or people who did this was that I was going to stop doing things, it's not going to happen. So we're not blinking. It sucked. It was not ideal. And then they sent pizza.
Yeah.
Domino's and Papa John's both showed up. So, then they said it was a cash order. That doesn't mean the person paid with cash. They meant it's COD. So for anybody else who's dealing with it, if you got pizza, you are not alone either. But bottom line is, I'm not going to stop. That's not the result that these people are going to get. If it happens to anybody else, feel free to let either one of us know on social media. It could definitely be worse. What happened to the J6ers was that times 100. So it could have definitely been worse. Our law enforcement out here, Rutherford County Sheriff, they were phenomenal, very nice, very understanding after the whole thing kind of sorted itself out. We're happy that they responded in that way. If somebody in the neighborhood is doing what we were, of course, accused of doing, I would want that response. I want to live in a safe neighborhood, and it looks like we do.
Yes.
So we want to thank them. They were very nice. They're very professional.
They made sure our cats did not get out.
That's right. And to the folks who are doing it, well, we're now going to do whatever is necessary to find out who it is, and to the fullest extent of the law, hold them accountable. And we're hoping that the Justice Department and FBI and anybody else who can help us will do so. Because, in my opinion, this is. It's not just harassment. When you're dealing with weapons, it's terrorism. So
terrifying.
It's not cool, but it means we're over the target, and we're going to keep pounding the target. But we wanted to let everybody know, thank you for checking in. We really appreciate it. And we're all safe. We're good. And we will be right back at it tomorrow. Have a great night, guys.
Awesome. I'm so thankful they're okay. But it's pathetic. This is pathetic that people would do that. And then also they get doxxed because now they know where they live. So I hope that this is the only incident they have. But that's what scares me, is the fact that they know where they live now. And the peace of mind that you had beforehand is gone. It's just sad. And that how many more pizzas are going to be delivered, or Uber Eats or whatever it is, all that different stuff showing up thinking that someone's going to be there, and they're going to pay for the meal when they didn't order it. And then you got the person that has to drive it there, make the food, all that stuff. All those people are now put into a thing where they're going to lose money because of some dumbass with a phone. So I don't know. I just think this is really sad. And I hope that they get to the bottom of it, because it's just really pathetic. Very, very pathetic. But here's another one that I wanted to play. I've been following Joe Pags for quite a while myself. I think I follow him on Instagram, and I also follow him, I think, on TikTok. But definitely follow him on X. So it says, yes, my family and I were swatted. This is how it went down, including the video I saw on my front door camera at 2:35 a.m. How would you have reacted? This has to stop. This is what he's saying. So here we go. I'm going to play this for you.
So I waited a couple of days because I didn't want to put this out there yesterday and put fuel in the fire and maybe give somebody some oxygen who's trying to get some publicity out of this. But we were swatted 2 nights ago at my house. Now, the good thing is I'm up until about 5 o'clock in the morning. This happened at 2:35 a.m. And we have cameras around the house. Some you can see, some you can't. So if you're a bad guy out there, you're not going to see where they all are. But we have cameras outside the house. And at 2:35 in the morning, I got an indication on my phone that there was some camera or there was some movement, it's a motion sensor at the front door. And I went, okay, that's weird. Maybe a bug. Who knows? Maybe the dogs had to go out. My wife took the dogs out. Nope. It was a guy holding an AR-15 with a cap on, looking in my window. Now, at that point, you say to yourself, well, I've got a rifle too. Can go grab that and go see what's what. I've got 5 other guns nearby. Grab some of them, go see what's what. And then, end up in a shootout at 2:35 in the morning in the middle of rural Texas. That's something that I don't think that I wanted to do immediately. So what happened was I had this level of calculation in my brain going about a million miles a second. And I said, okay, first thing I need to do, because when it's at night, the cameras are very good. They're color cameras, they're audio cameras. But at night, it goes to sort of a night vision view. So I can't tell if it's a police officer or not. I don't know who it is, but he looks a little bit nervous. But believe me, I've got a video of this guy with a rifle at my front door, like holding it, ready to use it. And I called 911. That was the right answer. And I said, this is my address. This is who I am. Radio, television, talk show host. So some would say public figure. I think I'm being swatted. Are you guys at my house? About 2 seconds later, she said, yes, we are. We got a report of this, and this. Dogs were shot. People were bleeding. People were hiding. And none of that was true. None of it true. Not a bit of it. So I said, none of that's happening. Please tell him to stand down. I'll come out with my hands up while I have you on the phone with me, and I'll explain what's going on. She said, okay, I haven't made contact with him yet. Don't go out yet. So then I walk out of my production studio, and I see in my backyard, you got 2 or 3 people with flashlights. So are you in my backyard too? Hold on, blah, 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 blah. Yes, we're in the backyard. Okay. Give me to go. When he says he's good, when he's got that gun barrel down, I will come out. Waiting. Then she says, I still have the complainant on the line. I said, well, I'm at the address. Okay. So there is no complainant here. There is no distress here. There are no issues here. This is a swatting. You don't know what that is. They send a tactical team to your house pretending there's an emergency because their hope is to either scare you on the low end, have you come out and confront the police officers and get killed, death by cop, or something else. It's a political message they're sending. They don't like that you're a conservative. They don't like that you're this, that, or the other. And again, I waited 2 days to do this because I think the bad guy probably would have tuned in yesterday to see, am I going to give, some oxygen and some gas to this? The answer is no. So I waited. But again, this is not me jumping on any bandwagon. I wasn't going to publicize it at all, but all of these big people are. And I think that there's probably more power in putting the information out there. So once I got the okay, I walked out. And it's not one officer, it's not one deputy. It's 7. There are 7 deputies in like with tactical gear. All of them had a long gun, as they should. I'm not against that. I have one too. All of them nervous as hell. I get it. I understand. At 2:30 in the morning on a Tuesday or whatever it was, that's not something that you get a call like that. You're stressed out, and it's in an area of the world where things like this don't go on. So they're ready to go. Thankfully, once Joe Pag, so one knew that it was me, and we had a conversation. I said, listen, this is what they're doing. They're targeting anybody who's pro-Trump, who's a conservative. It turns out, according to those over on X, it looks like they might be targeting people who have said anything negative about Zelensky and about Ukraine. It looks like that might be what's going on here, because there was some Ukraine non-friend list or something that went out 1.5 years, 2 years ago, and I was on it because I dared say, why is he stopping elections? Why is he stopping free speech? Why is he stopping worship? So that I was now in the doghouse. So I went out there, and it took a while for them to understand that what I was saying was true. Thankfully, they knew who I was as a public figure, and a guy that they know on the radio and TV, and I was able to calm everything down. And, we made an agreement. You guys get a call to my house. You got my cell phone number. You call me. You can't get me, then come. Because again, this is what they do. They want to, it's a scare tactic to shut me up. You've noticed since then, I have not shut up, so it's not going to happen. But there's no way somebody's family should be in harm's way. I just want you to think for a second. If I would have grabbed my AR-15 and walked out the front door, or my pistol and walked out the front door, I would have been dead in my doorway. Dead. I mean, think about that. That's a tactic of the left. That's the tactic of those who don't like my politics. It's not okay. Not by any means. It's not something I would ever imagine doing. Because I disagree with somebody, I would just disagree with them and try to make them see the light. But that's really something. Had I taken any other action, I might have been killed at my house that night. And you start to think, maybe that's the tactic. Maybe that's the end goal they have. Maybe that's the result they want. I've seen prominent people over on X, Nick Sorter, and I think the guy's name is Gunther Eagleman. I've seen them talk about it. Alex Jones from InfoWars said one of his reporters was swatted the night before, something like that. An InfoWars reporter was actually killed in Austin recently. Now, we don't know that that's connected to this at all. It could be something else. But there's an attack right now. It's a scare tactic and a hope to actually leave people dead, I believe, from the left to the right now. News is, and before I would ever report on this, I've spoken with the sheriff's department at length. They have my number. They have my name. We now have a plan in action should they get a call like that again before they dispatch anybody out to my house. Now, others are not involved in this, and if you've got an emergency where I live, near where I live, you're going to have perfect service. They're going to call me first. They're going to make sure that they have the right thing first. They're going to now understand this is a tactic that people are using to try to cause me harm somehow, and sadly, as collateral damage, my family. And that's not okay. So I made the conscious decision to not talk about this right after it happened, to not talk about it yesterday. And now that I see this being publicized more by people over on social media, maybe there's strength in numbers and letting people know we're hip to you. And police agencies now are learning. And to that end, I texted my friend Kash Patel today. The FBI director told him what happened and suggested that possibly the FBI might want to put out some sort of notification that there are people who are under attack because of their thoughts. Okay? So I wanted to put it out there because I wanted to stay ahead of it, but not get so far ahead of it that it gave this person the oxygen and the, the credit. I didn't want them to go, yeah, got him. I didn't want that to happen. Like when I was a television news anchor, when we would get a call from somebody saying there's a bomb threat at whatever school, we wouldn't air that. Because if you aired it and it was just some kid trying to get tomorrow off of school, get a long weekend, then more people are going to do it. You know what I mean? So let me say this to all the bad guys out there. The police are completely hip to what you did. The only person they'll respond to is somebody in my house. They've got all of our names and all of our phone numbers. If you're anybody who's using a VoIP from very far away, which is what happened, they're not going to listen to you when it's my house. They're going to call me first, call my wife, verify what's going on, and then they will either come or not come depending on the situation. So you took your shot, almost quite literally, and you missed. And you should feel like the idiot that you are. That's not how you solve problems. How you solve problems is you break it down, you discuss it, you vote, you get people in there that you want. This is not how you do it. It's actually pretty disgusting, to be honest with you. So I wasn't going to talk about that, but I decided, and actually just was out in the hallway. My wife was like, yeah, well, why don't you mention it? Maybe it was time. I wanted to give it a couple of days to cool off, not give them the credit they sought, and also to let them know you can't do it again, because now we've got all sorts of mechanisms in place to make sure that we know what's going on at my house at 2:30 in the morning.
Awesome. He's really, really a smart guy, and he's a decent person. And the fact that he's got it fixed where if they try to call and say something's going on in his house again, it's not going to work because the cops are onto it now. Yeah, he got swatted too. But see, he didn't make a big deal of it because he got it straightened out. But we're lucky that nothing really bad has happened to anyone. Yeah, it's scary. But the fact that they know where they live now, that's the worst part of it. So I hope that they do whatever they can to arrest all of these people that were involved in doxing these people, because it's pathetic and disgusting. But this guy I found will tell you how to help you. He's trying to share what to do if you do get doxxed, or swatted. To me, it's the same thing, because they can't swat you if they don't know the information about where you really live and all that. So that means they've been doxxed too. So that's why I wanted to make sure that people knew that and understood that you can't get swatted if they don't know who you are. But this gentleman, he says how to avoid swatting. So here we go. Let's listen to what he has to say.
I want to make this video about swatting. There's a few things you can do to help prevent this. And don't do this unless you think you're actually a target, right? We don't want to flood the police department with people trying to use this strategy. One, contact your local police department. Say, hey, look, I'm a public figure. I'm definitely a target of being swatted. Please be aware. That way they have an understanding of who you are. They're not going in blind. Give them your cell phone number. Say, hey, you can call me directly on this line. This gives them a chance to reach out to you and say, especially if you're out of town, like, hey, we just got a call. Should we respond to your house? 3 is you just want to make sure you have cameras around the perimeter of your property. Like, I'm sitting here right now making this video. I'm going to see pop up on my Waze app. It's going to say, I'm going to see a cop car pulling on my driveway. I know immediately what's going on. I'm going to call 911 and say, hey, what's going on? There's cops pulling up outside. I think I may have just gotten swatted. You're so far ahead of the game like that. And step 4 is call 911, right? Mm-hmm. If you see cop cars surrounding your house, call 911, get on the phone with the police department, start talking to them, give them that two-way communication. And I guess the last tip is just obey the commands. They don't want to do this, but they're going to go home at the end of the night, right? That's their priority. And so to obey the commands, move slowly, don't make sudden movements, but they got to clear the situation, right? So just follow the rules. It doesn't matter. You don't know this. Do you have a warrant? Just save it. You're just going to make it hard on yourself. They're just doing their job. So guys, please share this around. I know it doesn't apply to everyone, but if we can basically make ourselves SWAT proof, it just takes this tactic away from these evil people. So please share this message, and hopefully people do not get hurt. This is a terrible, evil domestic terrorism thing, and I hope the government deals with it as such. Thanks.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm going to share this link in the chat for everybody here on YouTube, and I'll try to go over and share it on Rumble also, because I think it's important. Not because you're going to get swatted, but you can share this with other people. Like, let's say there's a couple people that are outspoken or whatever that you know about on Instagram or TikTok or whatever else. You could share that information with them and tell them, you need to do this, that, and the other, because you have a pretty big channel, and maybe help them so that this won't happen to them. Or something bad won't happen to them. So I'm going to put that in here for you, and I will go to my Rumble and also share it in a little bit when I get a chance to go over there. But because I can't chat to my Rumble from StreamYards, they only let me talk to YouTube, because I guess they're kind of biased or whatever. They only like YouTube or Google or whatever. So they make it really hard on people like me to be able to chat with all my people on the different channels, because I don't know why. I just think it's sad. But this next thing I wanted to share, so hold on. Let me get it. Let's see if it's this one. I think it's this one. So hold on. It says swatting. If you're an independent, it says GIF. Okay. If you're an independent journalist on X, Democrats are likely targeting you. Take a minute to contact your local police and sheriff department and explain that you might be targeted. If you could save your life, dispatch will put a note on your address altering everyone to the situation, alerting them, and if it only takes a few minutes. So if you do think that you might be targeted because your channel's growing or you've been getting threats, now see, I have gotten a few threats on my YouTube channel in the chats, and I have also had people send me DMs here on X. So you know, and I hopefully nothing will happen to me because I'm out in the middle of nowhere. But you never know. If someone doxes you and they find out where you live, you could have a target on you. So if you feel uncomfortable or you think that something might happen, just go to the police department and tell them what the situation is, and do whatever you have to protect you and your family, because your life does matter. It doesn't matter whether you're white, yellow, brown, or black. It doesn't matter. Everyone's lives matter. So just do what you have to do to protect yourself. And that's one reason I wanted to share a couple of these things. But let me see what this other one is real quick. Okay, here's my last one that I had pulled up. So hold on. Let me present this. This was the last one I was able to find. And I thought it was pretty interesting. It says, why are conservatives being attacked and swatted? This is just one reason why. And this was Spitfire on X. And this is what she wanted to share. So here we go. Let me share. It's only a minute long, but here we go.
We have to have peace. We have to have law and order.
Peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard.
I unequivocally condemn the violence.
I said, no. I said, if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
Too many see the protests as the problem. Please, show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
Go to the Hill today. Get up in the face of some Congress people.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome.
Running away from Donald Trump, I think you need to go back and punch him in the face.
When they go low, we can.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump. And that's a fact.
Yeah, I'm going to share this in the chat too. This is a really good link to share with others, because all of those things that those people were saying were inciting violence against someone else just because they have a different point of view when it comes to politics. And then you've already have it in the world right now where if you're a Christian or you're a Jew or you're a Muslim or a Buddhist or whatever, you have a different point of view on your religion, you have a target on you because of that. So we have got to stop pointing the finger at other people, because my mother used to say, when you point the finger at someone, how many fingers are pointing back at yourself? Think about that, because none of us are perfect. No one's perfect on this planet. The only one person that ever lived on this planet that was perfect was Jesus Christ. So I want everyone to think about that. We're all flawed. We all make mistakes, and it's up to us to stop the violence against other people just simply because they have a different point of view than you. And if you agree that you have the right to say something, then why don't you believe that the other person has the same right to say something? So think about that. So I just want to say thank you to everyone for joining me tonight. And I hope I informed you a little bit of something you may not have known. And that you don't go around talking bad about people simply because they have a different point of view than you have. And isn't that what our grandmothers used to tell us? You know, don't say mean things about your brother. Don't say mean things about your sister. And don't gossip. You know, don't say things that you don't have facts about. If you have facts and you share them, then you have every right to share it because it's facts. If it's on the news, you have the right to share that too with other people and let other people make the decision on whether they want to believe it or not. That's why I share links all the time. I try to get the information out there and let you make up your mind of what you want to believe. If you don't want to believe me, that's okay. I'm not going to hate you because you don't believe something I'm trying to share. And sometimes I don't even believe it. I share it because I think it's information that you might need to help you make a better decision in your own life. And I wish more people would do that for other people. You know, what's it going to hurt to give someone information that might help them? You know, same thing, buying a car, what oil to put in your car, or a recipe that they haven't tried. It's the same thing. You're sharing information with someone else because you think they might like it. They might benefit from it. So I just want to say thanks again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful Friday tomorrow, whether you get to go to work and work half a day, or whether or not you're going to have a long 3-day weekend. I don't know, but I hope you enjoy it. So talk to you guys later.
First off, let me convey to my family, friends, and supporters that now is not the time to gloat. We must remember that most of our left-leaning friends are good people who want the same things in life as we do, but simply think differently on how to get there. It is now time to be the bigger man, to extend an olive branch and unite all reasonable people of this great nation. God has blessed America, and together with President Trump, we will make